We are working linear inequalities in intermediate algebra. Okay, so this is just a little bit different than what we've been working. Well, there's really not much to do here. But the way this reads is x is between 3 and 10, x is greater than 3, and x is less than 10. If I were to draw a number line here, and we're going to label 3, and we'll label 10 over here. How's that? Now you notice this doesn't include 3, so I put an open circle here, and it doesn't include 10, open circle, and it's everything in between 3 and 10. So I can pick any number, like for example 5. 5 would be greater than 3 and less than 10, as you can see here. Now there's another way of writing this. You can write this as an interval notation, where you put a parentheses here because we don't include 3 and the 10, and we don't include 10 here. Okay, well, not much is going on with this one, but let's do one where we got to actually do something. What about negative 8? We got less than or equal to a negative x is less than or equal to 2. So in this particular one here, we're going to have to do something. And that is, we just want to get an x right here, just a single x by itself, but we have this negative. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and multiply through by negative 1 all the way through. And so we'd have negative 1 times negative 8 is less than or equal to, putting this negative 1 in parentheses and the negative x. I usually put everything in parentheses when we're dealing with negatives, so we don't get that confused that it says a minus sign, times 2. But we have to remember, when we multiply through by a negative, we have to flip our inequality. So we want to make sure that we flip this guy here. So that needs to be flipped, right? So flip that like that. So negative 1 times negative 8 is just 8. And negative 1 times negative x is going to be x. And negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Now this is not the standard way of writing this. We're going to have to flip all this around here. And this states, this should say negative 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 8. Okay, and then we can draw a number line. I'm going to go ahead and put this in interval notation. As you can see here, x has to be between negative 2 and 8, including, we can include negative 2 and include 8. Okay, so I went ahead and drew my graph here, and as you can see, we include negative 2 and 8. We can choose anything in here and plug it in, and we'll get a true statement. Alright, so we got a new one up here. I want to get rid of this negative 4, so I'm going to have to add 4 to each one of these. So this becomes negative 7 plus 4 is less than x minus 4 plus 4 is less than 1 plus 4. So all the way across the board. And so this ends up becoming a negative 2, or negative 3, I'm sorry. X, right, is less than 5. So I go ahead and write this in interval notation, and then I draw a graph, kind of get a representation there visually of what's going on. Now a problem for you. Okay, so you want to show that this inequality up here, show that this is going to be your answer. So I did my interval notation and then drew my graph. Good luck.